Hello, my name is Harris Reed. I am a gender fluid designer who is just graduating from Central St. Martin's in London, and I am doing this video from London. Um, I first got interested in fashion, I think when I was around the age of probably 8 or 9. It was definitely around the time where I kind of saw the ability fashion had to really help kind of transport not only yourself with how you feel when you put things on your back, but also how people view you and how people look at you. And I think I really kind of started getting quite obsessed with this idea of dressing up and performance. And, I think going through maybe old Halloween costumes and kind of almost, picking and going through things in the attic and just starting to kind of create my own identity within clothing, and also like using clothing to be the thing that really projects who I want to be and what I stand for. So I think that my earliest memories are probably rummaging through and wearing like my mom's kind of fabulous black chiffon dress with like some black boa, and then mixing it with, I don't know, like a military jacket from like a child's costume, all kind of out of a costume bin. And those are kind of my earliest memories with fashion. For my collection, I used Instagram as my platform to get the message out there. I think for me, as any graduate right now within the arts as well as with any field, we no longer having graduation and we're no longer having a show. So for me, it was very much after the days of crying and just, obviously processing it and, kicking myself back into gear. It was a thing about how can I come up with something that's powerful and strong and gets the same kind of message across that a show does. And for me, a show really emulates a brand's message and what people stand for. And so for me, this whole collection is about kind of fluid opulence and this idea of come and bring your highest, most kind of outrageous self, if you will. So for me, I wanted to kind of emulate that and bring that into a platform that was extremely inclusive, being Instagram, that everyone could see and everyone could use. I'm gonna get that engagement there. So I called on a really close friend of mine, Lucas Palermo, who is based in Connecticut, who was at RISD, and he's finishing his final year. And I called on my friend Lauren Hunter, who lives in Los Angeles. She just finished LCF, London College of Fashion, and we kind of just started collaborating back and forth. And I really wanted to make these very theatrical sets, and I wanted to figure out how to place me inside of them. I wanted to basically still be able to have a huge impact while while obviously being aware of the guidelines and not leaving my house. And everything that I did from my home, and I did over Skype and Zoom and everything like that. So a lot of FaceTiming. So that was it was just kind of a really amazing process, because I learned so much about this thing that I always have believed, that everything is stronger with collaboration and with people coming together and supporting one another. So it really I learned so much through collaborating with these people, and also even with some of the garments being made by other friends who were helping me, because I had to put it all together in 45 days. We were, Addison leaning things to each other. We were, doing anything safe protocol we could to get stuff to one another. But, we weren't shopping, we weren't out, it was just really this kind of, let's all just team up together and like work really hard. And that was really kind of exciting. And also very stressful, but it was really great. And I'm really, really, really happy with the outcome, and I'm really, really, really pleased with the response. The kind of person I see wearing my designs, it's someone that sometimes I like to think doesn't exist yet. The big comment I would get in school a lot, or my critique would be, Harris, who do you expect to wear this? No one's gonna wear this. And I would like to say, oh, well, I'm not designing for the person of right now, I'm designing for the person of the future. And so I think for me, a person who wears my clothes is someone who is unapologetically honest with who they are, and someone who just wants to have fun with fashion, someone who wants to just embrace who they are. In every spectrum. My customer and the person who buys my clothes doesn't need to be wearing crazy frilly blouses every day. I'm wearing a t-shirt today. If someone wants to just be calm and casual, that's great. If someone wants to kind of peacock and wear feathers and crystals, amazing. I think it's just someone who's extremely just open-minded to exploring their curiosity within themselves and within fashion. If I could have one celebrity wear my things, I always just say Tilda Swinton. I think for me, she really encapsulates so much of my childhood, of how I view gender, and kind of like my own kind of journey with looking at this idea of like masculine and feminine. I just think she's just such a fashion icon, and then one day she can wear an amazing Haider Ackermann suit and look very masculine, and then the next day wear an incredible Chanel Haute Couture dress and look very feminine. And the way that she's really seamlessly blends those, I really respect, and I really love her. And the biggest takeaway I think I got from Central St. Martin's was, you're never done pushing yourself. I think CSM was the one place where I learned that what you think is the best, you can actually make 20 times better. And I think this idea of CSM being there for 5 years from foundation, this idea that you go in and you think that you've made this really amazing garment, and then you realize the teacher's like, okay, cut it up, glue it back together and turn it inside out, make it into a hat. And then it ends up being the most fantastic hat you've ever made when it was meant to be. Sorry, I live on a main road. You know, you like turn it into this amazing hat, and then you're like, oh, that was meant to be a top, but now it's a hat. And it's just this idea that I think they're always just pushing you, and that goes so much deeper into what is your narrative, what is your standpoint, what is your message, what are you trying to say. I think CSM isn't a fashion school. I think it's a school really kind of the future, and I think it really brings art, and I think it really brings identity is really important. I think if you look at the students that go there, they're not just cookie cutter kids. They are kids that have fought, that have had their own struggles, that have fought their own prejudice. And they really are like creating art that really speaks volumes. So I think CSM it's that push and that drive, and that to never kind of settle with what you think is your best. It can always be even better or stronger. I would actually love to show you my clothes right now, but they're actually they actually just all got pulled for a really big shoot. So I actually don't have anything with me. But I would have to say the biggest, one of my most favorite pieces is probably the giant white and black sheet hand, it's like hand printed cheetah hat that's all like put with appliqued French sequins. I think that's my favorite only because I was really trying to drive this idea of kind of extreme opulence over the top, and for me that hat really encapsulated all of that and really got that message out there really strong. So I think for me that was my favorite piece, just because it was very in your face, and I love to be a bit tongue-in-cheek and a bit in your face. And I love fashion because I think it really has the opportunity to change a lot of people's outlooks and people's minds. I think if you think about it, if you walk outside in most countries, everyone's wearing something on their back, clothing. And I think by you seeing how people present themselves, it really does start to make you think about yourself, about how you want to present yourself, how you want to identify with yourself, how you want to plan your own art of dressing up, how it makes you feel to wear clothes, why are you insecure within things. I think fashion stimulates so much questioning, and I love that, and that is why I love fashion. I love fashion. Thank you very, very much, OODA Magazine. Have a lovely day.